Well, good morning, YouTube. Hey, Pipers, welcome to the Bass Piper channel. It's been a few minutes since I've been on here, at least about, I don't know, almost a month since I've been on here. Let me adjust something, guys. Hold on just a minute. Let me bring you down just a notch. There you go. And I'm sorry I didn't get on last Thursday for International Pipe Smoking Day. And I want to wish everybody a belated International Pipe Smoking Day. But we just had a lot of things going on here at the house and all of that type of thing, and just hadn't been able to get on. And so I'm out here today reviewing a cigar. And it's a nice day out here in Virginia. We got supposed to get about somewhere around 68 today with this warm front coming in. And it's like about 58, I think, now. And but eventually it should get up this afternoon into the 60s. But I wanted to give a cigar brand that I reviewed several months back. If you remember, I reviewed an El Semptimo Michelangelo cigar, and it just wasn't doing that well. And before I go on any further, let me just do the housekeeping on this one. I want to give El Semptimo another shot, and this is with the Emperor Alexander. The Emperor Alexander. This is more of a Connecticut. It's in a Toro size. And if you know anything about El Semptimo, you will first know and understand that Zy Yunkin is the owner and president and chairman of the El Semptimo. In fact, just to give you a recap, if you didn't see that other video, he's into a lot of things. He's about in his early 60s, and he is a multi-billionaire. So he has many hands in all kinds of stuff, in research, in chemicals, in perfumes and colognes, in spirits, with cognac, whiskeys, different things, of course cigars, I think even a line of clothing. He's in everything. And one of the things that he came out with a few years is picked up the El Semptimo line. And he set out to make a fully, I guess, a fully organic cigar. Now, you might say, well, Bass Piper, I thought all cigars were basically organic. Well, they are to a certain degree. Trying to make sure I get a good going on this, and it looks like it's burning pretty good. Don't want to get talking and it go out. Now, this is a Toro, so it's going to take me a little longer to get through this. I usually smoke Robustos, but I couldn't get this from Neptune Cigars in a Robusto. It only had the Toro. At the time I placed an order. This is some of my Christmas gifts to Bass Piper. But all cigars basically are organic. When you hear the term fully organic, you know, or clean, usually there's about three terms: clean, organic, and there's another one that I can't remember. But anyway, what that means is that even in the fertilizations and the chemicals that's used for fungicides, insecticides, pesticides, all that is all organic. There are no chemicals at all. From the beginning of the seed all the way to the leaf, So you have a full organic cigar. Now, the only two companies that I know, and by the way, this one's doing great. This is a nice taste on it. I can't remember what the notes are supposed to be on this because I forgot to look them up. As you know, I don't get all these nuances, but certain key ones. I can tell you if it's good or if it's bad, and so far it's good. But not to get sidetracked, the whole thing with organics is that they are fully organic from start to finish. There's no chemicals in the process. In other words, the earth and things that they do for keeping the bugs off and all this kind of stuff is totally in an organic style. There's only two companies that I'm aware of. Now, some of you guys that are more aficionados than Base Piper, I was going to say Pastor Wade, but I am a pastor. Base Piper, the only two companies that I know about that do fully organic cigars, or in that regard, is El Semptimo. And by the way, you notice I didn't come in here and go, it's got a Nicaraguan binder, it's got a Dominican Republic filler, it's got a Connecticut shade wrapper or whatever. Is because all their stuff is undisclosed. What we do know is that it's made in Costa Rica, but all the goodies and all the stuff, they keep it low key. So with that said, these cigars are totally organic from start to finish. The only other cigar, not cigars, but cigar, is made by Plasencia. They have the Reserva Original, or original, however you want to pronounce it. The Plasencia Reserva Original is totally certified organic through and through. Doesn't mean that their other ones, their Alma Campo and others, Fuentes, are not, that they don't have some chemical spray on them for fertilization and bug repellent. But I called the factory, and from what I understand, the only one with Plasencia is the Reserva Original that is totally organic. So if you want a full organic cigar, the Plasencia Reserva Original and all of basically the El Semptimos, in fact, I think the whole line of El Semptimos are that way. Now, granted, the El Semptimos can run you some money, but they do have some in the price point that Base Piper can afford, and anywhere from around $9 to on up to around the $18, $20 point. But now, Zyra at El Semptimo, he's got them $70, $80, $100 a stick. He's kind of like maybe getting your hands on some Davidoffs, oh man, I can't think of the name right now. It starts with a B, and I can't think. Byron's, I think, are the names of them. And there's some others at a very high price, or when you get into some of the Toro Fuente, Opus X, certain ones can get very, very high dollar. So with that said, I wanted to give El Semptimo another shot because I knew from all of what Zyra had said in his interviews, if you look him up on YouTube and look him up and talks about the health benefits of cigars and all this stuff. And I mean, he has his own chemists, he has his own thing. In fact, they say there's a 32-page report that you can call El Semptimo and they will send you, or email them. But it's not 32 pages. It basically equals out to about 18 pages. Just if you're interested, contact El Semptimo. Usually I can do it now by email because they used to have a phone number, but I can't find it anymore. but they get back with you pretty good, and they will email it to you. I tell them you want the report on all the health benefits that Zyra talks about cigars, and it's pretty enlightening, guys, because of what natural nicotine, natural tobacco will do for you. It's got a lot of health benefits, and we know that. Most of us know that, and like we've said too, in moderation. Now, Zyra, he probably smokes 10 cigars a day or more, but for moderation, a couple of cigars a day, or 2 or 3 a week, or a month, or however you do it, is fine. But it's the natural nicotine that is healthy, not the tainted junk in cigarettes, okay? We're talking natural, that you find more in your pipe tobaccos and in your cigars, especially your cigars. So this cigar is spot on. And what he has said so far about aftertaste and a bad taste in your mouth, that cigars can give you, not say a bad taste, but you got that flare of tobacco taste and stuff. So far, it is clean as a whistle. Even the upper lip, it's clean. And this is what I like. Not that, I'll tell you another good one, a great company is Nick Perdomo Cigars. I called them, and I talked to one of the guys there, and he said, we do everything clean. He says, all of our stuff is as clean as it basically can be. He said, we just don't go. Now, I haven't talked to Nick himself, but we just don't get the certification. Now, on the Plasencia Reserva Original, if you look at any cigar store that sells them, in their description, they make sure they went through the whole certification process, okay? And I'm sure El Semptimo has done it as well, because that's all they market. If you go on the smokingpipes.com and different ones and look up El Semptimo, this is where I got my El Semptimos, because they had some on sale. You will find that they mention this just about on every one of El Semptimo's cigars, being the natural process in the whole 9 yards. So anyway, I know I kind of gave a bad review on the first one, but I tell you what happened. It was a Michelangelo, and it was a Perfecto. So the Perfecto had the little pyramid ends on them, so you had to cut off. And I bought another one because I wanted to give a fair review of it, and I'll smoke that later on. I'll let you know. But I think it was probably, the more I look back at it, it may not have been the cigar itself that was bad or clogged up. It could have been Base Piper's era that I didn't snip it, because it was closed on both ends. And when I opened up the end, or it was closed on that side and torpedoed on the cap side. But when I cut the foot, on it to get a better draw, and when I clipped the cap in, I didn't clip it evidently in more than I should, and so that I think affected the draw. And so it's keeping a good burn all the way around. I'm trying to make sure I don't drop these dimes. I try to measure my finger an inch. I try to keep it about an inch. It's almost there. But a good, clean cigar. And so with the Michelangelo, I think it was just Base Piper's era. At least that's what I'm going to say for now. I'll let you know when I get ready to do the review on the second Michelangelo to see if that was a draw problem within the cigar itself. So I was disappointed in that interview, or in that review. If you go back a few videos back, probably about several months back, you'll see it, because I only smoked it about an inch and a quarter, and threw it in the trash as an $18 cigar. I was done. I was fed up with it because I mean I'd heard all the hype about El Semptimo and yada 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 yada, and they are the bomb.com, and so it could have just been where that it was just operator error on my part. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drop these dimes before they drop. I get talking and they drop all over my shirt. But and a good little topper on it. When I put my humidimeter on this one, it was coming in at 62 to 63% humidity in my tupperware, and I'm running 69 Bovita packs, 69%. But in my house, because of the heat, we're running the heat and stuff. I'm noticing I'm going to have to probably change them probably for the next month or two, and put 72s in there so that I can bring the humidity up a little bit. Humidity is really not, to go too dry is not going to be a bad thing. I mean, it won't kill it, but you definitely don't want to go no more than about 72, 73% humidity if you can in a cigar going up the scale. So if I run 72s, then I might be able to keep these at around 68 in my Tupperware, my cigars, instead of in the lower six. I don't like to go below 65 if I can help it. So I just got to make some adjustments in that. But these cigars are really, really good cigars, and they come around. Now this is this is more of a Connecticut. I haven't tried the Maduros. Got good smoke output, good clean taste, good clean aromas. And another test I'm going to do is, he said that with these cigars, they don't have a lot of after smoke smell in the room. Now, today I've got the garage door open. I finally opened up the garage door without freezing, and I got my side door, as you can see over here, open, and I got a fan over in the corner going, just kind of sweeping. But normally with most cigars I smoke, even after that, I might have an hour or two that's still lingering. I'll keep the fan oscillating even though I close the doors. It'll dissipate. So these should clear out a whole lot faster. But anyway, enough of all that. With the cigar review. El Semptimo, if you haven't tried them, try them. They're good cigars. I can say that now, honestly. And I wish I could have said it with the Michelangelo, but Bass Piper, like I said, could have screwed it up when I cut it, and that was causing the problem. So that's another reason why, if you have a drier cigar, I like to purge. About every 2 or 3 puffs, I'll blow through and just blow some air, humidity, air through my cigar. One, to clean out any tar, any stuff, but it adds humidity into the cigar where it starts softening up a little to get more humidity, and it burns better. But as you can see, this cigar is doing really good overall. It's doing good. So anyway, guys, how you guys been doing? I hope everybody's been doing pretty good. And like I said, I think I told you let me spin it around here if you can see it now. I don't want to mess it up. I got my tires put back on my truck. My driver's side tire finally got put on. It's been on for about, 3 weeks, probably a month now. And we got through all that fiasco, and she's running good, got it realigned, and just like it never happened. So everything's back up and running, In fact, I got that out. The week I got that out, the next week the Honda had to go in to get a driver's side CV boot. Honda's a front wheel drive. So we had a CV boot getting ready to go on Mama Bass Piper's car. We got to keep Mama up because she's the one right now bringing in the heavy metal with the money. So, not that we're rich heavy metal, but she's bringing in the biggest portion. So anyway, we got to make sure the car gets Mama to the job. Church is going good, guys. I was able to lead a lady to the Lord a few weeks ago. She came and visited, made a public profession of faith, and coming to the church, and hoping to baptize her and another lady this spring. As I told you, we're just old-fashioned right now. We got about an 8-foot, I think I mentioned it. If I did, forgive me. An 8-foot from Tractor Supply, a big old 8-foot long trough, metal trough that we put on a stand, fill it up with water, and have steps to go up. And that's how we baptize on the front yard of where we meet at the home we meet at. So, buddy, we just do it old school. We don't have them fancy baptismal pools yet. Or have to go down to piece of tobacco. Have to go down to the River Jordan to get things done. So we do all of our baptisms in the spring or summer, as you can imagine. You do one during the winter months. You don't have to worry about getting them out of the baptismal pool. They'll just fly out the little trough. So, with that said, church is going good. We are looking for a place, a building to rent, because we know we can only grow but so big in the house. The house will probably hold comfortable a good 40 people. And when everybody's there, we're running around 30 right now. So, we probably could take on another 10, 12 more people, and we'll be pretty full. And then the other part is the parking. We can only put so many in the yard. So, we are looking for a building that we can now move into to start expanding more of the growth, which will also hopefully help our land fund. We're trying to, we've been steadily putting money in for our land, trying to find land around here in Isle of Wight County. It's hard in one way because a lot of it is agricultural and zoned that way. So you got to go get everything rezoned and spend money out the backside that everybody's got their hand out for money, and everybody, before they'll do anything. And let me slide this up just a minute, guys. I'm hitting my... There we go. Let me bring you in some more. I got a mobile camera here. But we are trying to find land, at the same time trying to get into a building. We've got good problems. They're just challenging problems that most new churches have. We can find buildings. The only problem is these buildings, they want $3,000 and $4,000 a month, some of them. Some of them are $10,000 a month because they're using them for businesses. We're not a business, contrary to what most people think a church is. A legit church is not a business, okay? We're a ministry. And so we don't have that kind of money coming in. And even if we did, we would be hard pressed to spend $4,000 and $5,000 a month to use a building 20 hours a month. We have services every week, Wednesday night and Sunday morning. That equals to about 5 hours a week. That's it. So you're looking at 20 to 25 hours a month, depending on whether you got a 4-week month or a 5-week month. And to drop $3,000 and $2,500, or all that, we just don't have that kind of money with our smaller congregation. So we're trying to find we're praying about where God will open up a door. We need, it's going to take somebody with a heart. And I don't mind telling you, those people are far and few between. That if they've got a building, or anything that we could use for a church that would let us use it, we could pay a little rent or whatever they want to do there, so that we could have some parking space and have something to meet in. The other reason is that, as you've heard me say before, there are some people that have a hang up about going to a house church because it's in somebody's home. Now, this home is a great room. I mean, right now we put out 20, 25 chairs in this room. This is how big it is, with their furniture. And we have a baby grand piano in it. Okay, so it looks just like a little sanctuary, And so, but we know we got to start looking now, because we don't want to wait to the last minute. So we need somebody that's got a heart that will help a church and help a church out. And I know where God guides, He'll provide, and we just got to wait on His timing. But we're constantly looking, and we're looking at some schools. We're looking at some middle schools and things like that maybe we can rent for service, so that we can continue to grow. The more we grow, naturally, the more people will tithe, that we can purchase the land and eventually get a building. We're not looking to have anything mega. We ain't looking at multifaceted, multi-million-dollar buildings. We're not looking at, a multi-million-dollar complex and ministry. We're trying to do what we can to win souls and have a ministry and preach the Word of God. Pretty basic. But with that, these days, most people are not as open. Used to be a day where if they knew it was a church trying to do something, people that had land, plenty of land, would say, "Here, preacher, take 5-6 acres. It's on me. I'll write it off on my taxes. Put a church over there." Wow. You won't see that much today. That's why I said you got to find people with a heart that has a heart for ministry and for the Lord's work. The sad part about churches and things today is there's been a lot of bad people in it, leaders and things. It's just give church a bad name all the way around. But always understand one thing: it's not God, it's not God's work. It's sometimes the knuckleheads that are in God's work and leading God's work. You don't have to look no farther than the ones you see a lot of them on TV. Okay? Wolves in sheep's clothing that's just trying to make $1 million and $1 billion business for themselves, and those are businesses. When you get to the point that a church becomes a corporation, basically, it's a business. That's not biblical. But that's what Satan uses to turn people around and keep people from church. Think about it, and keep people from coming to the Lord and people doing right. Let me say this to some of you all that maybe has never been to church. Maybe you have been and you've been hurt somewhere and you haven't darkened the doors of a church in years. Not every church is like that. They're out there, but not every church is like that. And I'm sorry you had to face that type of thing, but let me give you some encouragement. Bass Piper has been in the ministry full time, off and on, for about 28, 29 years. In some form or facet, preaching, pastoring, singing, evangelistic type stuff with the quartet. The years I had the quartet sing. We've been hurt too. Me and Mrs. Bass Piper we have gone through a lot of hurt on the battlefield. And I've been voted out of churches. I've had my name slashed and bashed here or there. You've had lies told about us. I mean, anything you could think about junk is out there. Why? Because Satan wants to destroy everything. And if he can oppress the leaders and get you depressed and get me out of it altogether, that's what he wants. Same thing with you. If you're not going anywhere you used to go, he wants to defeat you. The sad part about it is, most of us allow him to do it. I know sometimes we have to take a sabbatical. Sometimes we might have to be out for a little while. But here's the thing. The longer you stay out of church, the harder it is to go back. The longer you stay out, the harder it is to go back. Satan will make sure of that. So, anyway, the church is doing good. And slow but sure, as I say. So, this was a church that started from scratch. We didn't have no help. We didn't have no millionaires in the church and, all that to help get you going and shoot you forward. We started with zero and to where we are today. We've been at it about 22 months. So, anyway, that's what's been going on in Bass Piper's world. El Semptimo, spot on. This is a good cigar. Try it. It's in Connecticut. And the Emperor Alexander from the Alexander collection. He has different collections. El Semptimo does. For that line, that brand. And so, very good, very smooth, very clean. So I like the Total Organics. Not to say that the rest of the cigars are no good. I smoke different ones. But you can tell a difference. You can tell a difference in taste and everything. And so I told you that when I reviewed the Plasencia Reserva Original. It was clean. It was, some people, they don't like them. Well, the thing is, we know taste is subjectional. And if most people that if they've come from cigarette smoking, if they've just have never smoked a cigarette, but they've smoked cigars through the years, and they've gotten to the Maduros and those that are heavier hitters, more nicotine, just stronger, bolder, smelling and tasting cigars. Most people don't like the Connecticut's or the milder, medium cigars. And that's fine. It doesn't mean they're bad. They're just bad to them. That don't mean it's a bad cigar. So you got to find your niche, or your niche, as they say, of what you like. But anyway, I just want to get on here. It's been 32 minutes. Man, time flies. Just want to get on here and say hi, guys. Hadn't been on in about a month. Everything's going pretty good now. We got the wheel back on the truck, and and everything right now is doing pretty good. I don't want to jinx it, but we're doing good. And sorry I couldn't get on for International Pipe Smoking Day, but I do hope everybody had a good time. I liked the videos that Flat Cat Piper and Lady Fire put out. I think they're over in Italy or somewhere. They're taking a trip over there and had some good videos. If you haven't seen them, go check it out, Flat Cat Piper. Good to see Johnny, 2 a.m. Pipe on the Patio, back on. He had been gone for a while. Of course, I know his wife fell and been having a lot of health problems and things, but he's starting to do his videos again. Hey, reach out if you haven't to Doc, Preacher Man Piper. I texted him a couple of weeks back, and he's still doing good, hanging in there, and still just having some health problems. But we know he's been off for a long time. I'll tell you another couple I haven't seen, guys. Maybe we need to reach out. Is if they see this video, Steve and Miss Kathy Beowulf. Where have you been? And Miss Kathy, You were regulars. And they've just fallen off the cliff. And speaking of Cliff, Dr. Cliff, he hasn't been on lately. Ninja Piper. Some of our oldies but goodies, man, they have just vanished. I mean, we've gone poof. And so I've been missing you guys, man. I hope you all are doing good. I hope there's no major health problems going on. Maybe you just got tired of the videos for a while or whatever, but poke your head back on, make a 5-minute video just to say hi and we're okay. Everything's doing okay. We'd love to hear from you. At least I would. I know others would too. But there's so many that have just died off the vine. Has anybody heard from Hugh and Harriet Hefner? I haven't been on in ages. And so a lot of them are just, maybe I didn't get the memo. I mean, it's like a lot of our oldies with the YTPC are just going by the wayside. So anyway, with that, it's been 35 minutes. I'm gonna get on off of here so I can get this thing iMovied and get it out here to you all. But you guys, take care. And subscribers, thank you for your support. I'll be doing a new subscriber shout out hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so. And I want to thank all my subscribers. The channel's been doing pretty good, been growing, slow but sure. And we love you guys, and thank all my oldies for your support and my newbies that's coming on. And we hope you all get something out of it. You know, I just sit there and yak and talk about whatever. And I didn't mean to make this whole video more of a biblical type thing, but our church thing. But you know, as far as any major things going on, there's really not a lot going on where we're at right now, thank goodness. No news is good news sometimes. But I hope everybody has had a great start to the new year. And can you believe it? We're in the last week of February. I mean, getting ready to hit March, getting ready to almost be at the end of the first quarter in another 30 days. So anyway, guys, with that, you guys take care, relax, have your pipe or your El Semptimo. Until we see you again, always remember, God's good, and God gives us many blessings each and every day. You guys take care. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.